Hey, it's your buddy Peace and Harmony with you here. Focusing in today on a very insidious, heinous, and very confusing, distressing, and torturous manipulation tactic that is utilized by narcissists and psychopaths alike. Covert, overt, essentially borderline as well, although to a lesser degree, and that is the tactic of triangulation. Realize that the main goal, the main objective of a narcissist, of a psychopath, is to obtain complete control, power over you, and really to the extent where if it causes you pain, it's only towards their gain. So if you're, if you're in a state where you're being abused and taken advantage of, and you're suffering at the hands of them, their comments, their lies, the creation of jealousy in you, insecurity. Oftentimes they will utilize people in the environment as a method of triangulation. They really thrive over the torture that is created by pitting one person against another. This person can be a family member, this can be a boss, this can be a neighbor, this can be a coworker, this can be a remote family member, it can be ex-partners, someone who you might have met or just met. They will seek to split and create poor information about you. In other words, focusing on your weaknesses, creating you in a poor light, or the other person in a poor light, so that they're kind of setting up and they're jockeying various people. In other words, controlling your perceptions, controlling your reality by their opinions, viewpoints of others, and then shifting you into those positions as well. So in essence, you have no control. You're not living from yourself, your own opinions, your own experience. You're in essence then, when they really become in depth at it, you're living from their experience. And it's not an everyday occurrence, but it becomes definitely evident and obvious, especially as you're with a relationship with these people for some times. And it gives them the opportunity, especially if they're targeting you. A narcissist and a psychopath will definitely understand that you have a need and ability to love. So this illusion, they know, is very strong, very powerful, very motivating for you to have belonging, to have connection, to have association with others who give you pleasure. Pleasure is different from happiness. Pleasure can be sexual gratification. It can be companionship, momentarily. It can be, financial pleasure. But really, it's different than self-esteem or happiness, which is an undergirding sort of experience and feeling that you create within yourself. It's not created from another person. It's not manufactured by the event of another. It is internal state. And so what they do essentially is to create an illusion that they are in extremely high demand, that they are all important, more important than you, and they will utilize people in your environment in essence to promulgate your vision onto them, and begin essentially jockeying a smear campaign regarding you and these other people. And they will groom others really towards a viewpoint of yourself or another person. And it's very insidious because it'll really generally come out of the blue. In other words, you might have a certain feeling about somebody. It's generally someone who you know quite well, have a lot of history or experience with, a family member, a coworker, who you have absolutely no problem with. I mean, in essence, you get along fabulously with them. Sometimes it might have been a rocky road, but in essence, things were all good there. Well, what ends up happening in triangulation with a narcissist or psychopath is that they're grooming these other people to essentially create a fallout, to create a smear campaign, to create an illusion, paint a picture, create a false illusion, a false dream, essentially a nightmare about this person or then about yourself. And, they get really this intense euphoria when they pit people against one another. very strange, very insidious. It's very childish. I think children might go through this phase. Who's my best friend? Are you my best friend? And then you're giving each other gifts, etc. You have that childhood bond where, you give each other friendship rings or, trade playing cards, baseball cards. You're my best friend. Here's a comic book. Nowadays it's this video game, etc. But, in essence, they're trying to get you in the gut. They're trying to get you in the solar plexus, which is your I am. It's your self-esteem. It's your identity. It's where you operate from. They're trying to, if you're a vehicle, they're trying to, drop the engine out and put in a whole nother engine. If your body is a Ferrari, they're trying to put a Chevy engine in it. If you're an automatic and you're, automatically you've got these talents and what I call your happiness habit, something that is automatically pleasurable to you, you really relate to, they're going to try to drop you out of that happiness habit and put in a stick shift where you're like, you can barely, maneuver in your own environment because you're trying to, do damage control after all the insidious things that they say and do. And they really get a true euphoria about this, talking over here to this person, talking over here to that person. They're filling your mind. Some people call it putting a bug in your ear. I don't know why people say that, but they'll put a bug in somebody's ear. I guess that's a saying, where it's like, they didn't do this, or, they didn't do that, or it's so bad with them. And then they're trying to create this reputation and smear campaign, and it could have occurred months, years ago, and you're like, why is this even relevant now? But this is the confabulation of a narcissist or psychopath. They are setting something up. And you don't want to be, part of the cabinet of the mastermind, creating a new board of directors, meant to overthrow you and your life, which is what they do. They have to be in control, and they're really, they wanted to determine other people's reality, but you determine your own reality. See, that's where the confusion comes in, and you start to really start making excuses for them, or thinking that they are having all matters in the best interest, when in essence and in reality they really, really do not. So that is why you really, really have to remain in control and take care of yourself, even if it's even if it means accepting the fact that this is occurring. You have to take it by the reins, take it by the bootstraps, and get back a sense of reality and control over yourself. And you can do it. You absolutely positively can do it. You can do it. You can get control back. Don't be alarmed by these smear campaigns, these tactics, stalking, threats, things of this nature. It's just meant to distract you and overwhelm you, and you just need to shrug it off. It's just because it really has nothing to do with you. It has nothing to do with reality. It has nothing to do really with your true perception or what you're focusing on. When you get to the point where you've had enough, and you no longer want to live in this sort of threatening aura or ethos, culture that they're trying to create for you, you just refuse to participate. It's very, very important, and a lot of people get so addicted to these people or so overwhelmed by these people that they have a vision of this person being at the center of attention, and your vision for your life has to be beyond this person. Your vision has to be focused on the horizon beyond this person. There's more to life. There's so much more to life than living tortured, living in this crazy making, and living to make excuses for another person, constantly being apologizing to them, or not being in touch with your own happiness, your own empowerment. That's essentially what they do when they become involved in this triangulation smear campaign sort of situation. And so, they have a real problem with affect, AFFECT, which is having an appropriate emotion for an event. And so, when things should be moving along hunky-dory, well, here they go, creating crazy making. Begin the smear campaign, begin the lies, bringing up things that really don't even relate to you, but they make it seem like it's important to you, and it leaves people confused, and then going in kind of like that bargaining stage, and really feeling like, they're in that wishful thinking, trying to, settle the score of their confusion, and really try to, then repair things which they shouldn't even be involved in repairing. So, in essence, you have to get out of that habit. It's a habit that people enter into if they're habituated by this person, habitually, checking in with them, or even in a relationship, it's being a habit of being their scapegoat in essence. So be very, very careful of these triangulation methods, and keeping you wondering and in an ambiguous state. I really want you to understand that this is a tactic. So if you see this coming out of the blue, if it seems very bizarre, very unusual statements that really have nothing to do with you, but that are designed to make you feel alarmed, suspicious, about these people. They're bringing other people into the picture that don't belong there at inappropriate times. This is a triangulation tactic. It's meant to overthrow you. It's meant to pit you against people. And it's meant to pull out the worst of you, which, honestly, in life, you don't have time for that. It's an exercise of futility if you're trying to rectify and sort through things with these people, because they're going to try to, sever your relationship with yourself, sever your relationship with the amazing aspects of life, and get you off of seeing the big picture and the beauty and amazement of who you are and very much life itself. So it's very serious, very dangerous, and please take heed and pay attention to what's going on, and don't be sucked in. Peace and harmony with you here today. I hope these videos do help. Please share, please subscribe for more great tools, videos, discussion, and support.